Parrot OS. Parrot OS is like the Swiss Army knife for cybersecurity nerds. Imagine if Batman had a laptop. He would probably run Parrot. This distribution was first released in 2013 and is built on top of Debian, which means it comes with stability under the hood, but with some extra secret agent gadgets on top. There are two flavors: Parrot Security, which is like walking into a room where every hacking and forensic tool is already laid out on the table, and Parrot Home, which is more for everyday privacy-conscious users who still want to browse the internet without feeling like someone is peeking over their shoulder. What makes Parrot extra fun is how lightweight it is. It can run on a machine with just a little bit of memory, so you do not need a supercomputer. Whether you are a student dabbling in cybersecurity or a professional doing penetration testing, Parrot gives you the feeling of being a digital detective without needing to wear a trench coat. Tails OS, yeah. Tails OS is like that friend who shows up at the party, eats pizza, and leaves without anyone remembering they were ever there. This distribution is built entirely for privacy and anonymity. Every single bit of internet traffic is routed through the Tor network, which makes you look like a ghost moving through the web. Even better, Tails runs from a USB stick or DVD, and when you shut it down, it wipes everything from memory as if nothing ever happened. No breadcrumbs, no leftovers, no evidence. Released in 2009, it has become the go-to operating system for journalists, whistleblowers, and anyone who has to work under surveillance. It even has optional encrypted storage if you want to save files between sessions. The FBI once complained about how hard it was to track people using Tails, which, if you think about it, is a pretty solid 5-star review for privacy. Just remember, it is more about being safe than being fast, so do not expect it to load like a gaming rig. Ubuntu is the warm welcome mat of the Linux world. If you have never touched Linux before, this is probably the distribution people will point you to. Launched in 2004 by Canonical, Ubuntu was designed with one mission: make Linux accessible to everyone, not just computer wizards in basements. Its name comes from an African philosophy meaning humanity to others, which sounds poetic, but also sums up its community-driven spirit. Ubuntu is famous for being simple to install, easy to use, and highly versatile. You can find it running on laptops, desktops, servers, and even cloud infrastructure. One of the biggest reasons it is popular is because it strips away the intimidation factor. If Windows feels like a big city and Mac OS feels like a fancy cafe, then Ubuntu feels like a friendly neighborhood diner, where you can always get a warm cup of coffee and a working Wi-Fi connection. Debian is the grandparent of many Linux distributions, and it is still rocking strong. First released in 1993 by Ian Murdoch, Debian is almost legendary because of its stability and transparency. It is community-driven, which means thousands of volunteers around the world maintain it with a democratic spirit. Think of Debian as that reliable old truck in your family. It might not have shiny rims or Bluetooth speakers, but it will get you across the country without breaking down. Debian powers everything from personal desktops to giant servers and embedded devices. It also serves as the foundation for other major distributions like Ubuntu and Parrot OS. While it sticks close to the free software philosophy, it has faced debates about including non-free firmware. Still, its reputation as a rock-solid, trustworthy system has made it a cornerstone of the open-source world. If Linux had a Mount Rushmore, Debian would definitely be carved into the stone. Kali Linux. Kali Linux is the James Bond of the Linux world, minus the tuxedo. This distribution, launched in 2013 by Offensive Security, is built for penetration testing and digital forensics. It actually evolved from an older distribution called Backtrack, which was already popular among security pros. With more than 600 security tools pre-installed, Kali is like walking into a fully stocked spy lab, where every gadget is designed to find weaknesses and break into systems. Ethically, of course. It runs not just on regular desktops, but also on ARM devices like Raspberry Pi and even smartphones. That makes it portable for fieldwork, like carrying a lockpick set in your pocket. While Hollywood movies sometimes use Kali Linux as shorthand for hackers typing furiously on keyboards, In reality, its true purpose is both offensive and defensive security. If cybersecurity were a video game, Kali would be the character who spawns with legendary gear from the start. Linux Mint. Linux Mint is what happens when you take Ubuntu, sprinkle in some extra friendliness, and remove the confusing parts. First released in 2006, Linux Mint has earned a reputation as one of the best starting points for people switching from Windows. Its flagship desktop environment, Cinnamon, feels familiar with menus, taskbars, and icons that make sense right away. Unlike Ubuntu, Mint avoids using the Snap packaging system, sticking instead to more traditional software management, which makes many users feel it is more transparent and straightforward. It also comes with its own set of Mint tools, such as a simple update manager that just works. Think of Mint as that teacher in high school who explains calculus using pizza slices. Suddenly, the scary subject becomes easy, and you realize you might even like it. For casual desktop users who just want their computer to behave without headaches, Linux Mint is a safe and cozy choice. Arch Linux. Arch Linux is the do-it-yourself project of the Linux world. It is not for the faint of heart, but for those who love tinkering, it is paradise. Created in 2002, Arch follows a philosophy of simplicity, but in the Linux sense, that means giving you nothing you do not need and making you build everything yourself. Installing Arch is like assembling IKEA furniture without the manual. Frustrating at first, but satisfying once you get it right. The reward is a system that is entirely yours, built from the ground up with only the parts you want. Arch uses a rolling release model, meaning you always get the latest software without waiting for big version updates. Its package manager, Pacman, and the community-driven Arch user repository give you access to an ocean of software. If you are the type who refuses to buy pre-made furniture because I can build it better myself, then Arch is the Linux distro that matches your vibe. Red Hat Enterprise Linux? Red Hat Enterprise Linux, or RHEL, is like the corporate suit of the Linux world. This is the distribution Fortune 500 companies and cloud providers trust to run their mission-critical systems. Originally developed in the mid-1990s, RHEL has grown into one of the most respected enterprise operating systems. The key selling points? Stability, long-term support, and rock-solid security. Each major release is supported for up to 10 years, which is music to the ears of IT managers who do not want to upgrade every 6 months. RHEL also includes enterprise-grade tools that protect sensitive workloads out of the box. Think of it as the reliable accountant of Linux. Maybe not flashy, but you know it will not let you down when the IRS comes knocking. While it is a commercial distribution, its influence spreads far beyond, inspiring community-driven projects like Fedora, Alma Linux, and CentOS. Zorin OS. Zorin OS is like the friendly translator between Windows and Linux. Launched in 2009, it was designed specifically to help Windows users feel at home in the Linux world. Its desktop can be customized to look and behave like Windows, Mac OS, or even a unique Zorin style, so switching over feels less like moving to another planet and more like moving to a new neighborhood. Zorin is perfect for people who just want things to work without a steep learning curve. It also comes preloaded with a lot of software you need right out of the box, so you do not spend the first day hunting for programs. Imagine convincing your friend to switch from soda to sparkling water. The goal is to make it feel natural, and Zorin OS nails that experience. For schools, offices, or home users, it is a polished option that lowers the barrier to entry for Linux. Garuda Linux. Garuda Linux is the flashy sports car of the Linux family. Based on Arch Linux, it offers all the cutting-edge features of Arch, but with a focus on performance and visual appeal. Right out of the box, Garuda comes with a gaming edition that includes tools like Steam, Lutris, and Proton, making it a favorite among gamers. It also uses performance tweaks like the Zen kernel, which squeezes out extra speed. But Garuda does not just focus on performance. It is also visually stunning, with themes and desktop environments that look like they were designed by a gamer who also works as a graphic artist. Installing Garuda feels like unboxing a custom-built gaming PC with RGB lights glowing everywhere. For content creators and gamers who want Linux without sacrificing style and speed, Garuda is like driving a Ferrari in a world full of minivans. Clear Linux. Clear Linux is Intel's experiment in raw performance. Unlike other distros, it was built from the ground up to squeeze every ounce of power out of modern processors. Benchmarks often show it outperforming rivals in tasks like data analysis and cloud workloads. It is not really aimed at casual users, but shines in professional environments where speed is everything. If Ubuntu is a family car and Arch is a DIY motorcycle, Clear Linux is the turbocharged race car tuned by engineers in lab coats. Fedora is the adventurous pioneer. Sponsored by Red Hat, it gets new features before they reach enterprise systems. Released every 6 months, Fedora is always fresh and often used by developers who want the latest open-source tools. It also balances performance and security well. Fedora feels like the cool older sibling who tries new things before everyone else. It even has the stamp of approval from Linus Torvalds himself. If you like being on the cutting edge, Fedora is the place to be. CentOS Stream. CentOS Stream is the rehearsal before the main show. Positioned between Fedora and RHEL, it lets developers see what is coming in the next enterprise release. It replaced the old CentOS model in 2019, a shift that sparked controversy and the rise of Alma Linux. While no longer the free RHEL clone, CentOS Stream is valuable for testing and development. Think of it as a preview channel for enterprise Linux, letting you prepare before the curtain officially rises. Alma Linux. Alma Linux is the community's answer to CentOS being retired. Launched in 2021, it is a free enterprise-grade distribution, fully compatible with RHEL. Alma means soul in Latin, symbolizing its role as the spiritual successor to CentOS. Backed by a non-profit foundation, it is stable, secure, and community-driven. Businesses quickly adopted it as a reliable production system. If RHEL is the suit and tie professional, Alma is the equally skilled sibling who prefers a hoodie, but gets the job done just as well. Void Linux. Void Linux is the indie rebel. Unlike most distros, it is not based on Debian, Red Hat, or Arch. It was built from scratch and uses Runit instead of Systemd, appealing to fans of simplicity. Void is lightweight and efficient, giving users plenty of control. It feels like finding a hidden diner with the best burgers in town. Off the beaten path, but worth it. While not mainstream, it has a loyal fan base that appreciates its unique approach and speed. So, if you found this video helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe. And don't forget to hit the notification bell so you'll be the first to know when a new video drops.